So one field is like I'm giving a item name, and other field I'm giving item, quantity, and other field I'm giving item date. Okay, and I just giving the name as text field, and this quantity as number, and date as the date. And now what I wanted to do, I basically in this exercise I wanted to just find it out, like what is the current date. Like I have the order, like let's say I create a different row item here. So let's say I give the value ABC, name, quantity, hello. Yeah, I think I should be audible now. Yeah, so I'm giving the date as 22. And any the other name should be like, let's say, I giving the future date like 19th of April. Okay, so let's say I created the basic items here, like three items that I've created, and they are having different quantity, and that there's different date here. So once I've created this collection and I give this collection as order, name as order, so my collection has three different type of uh, the fields, which are basically text, number, and date, and they have their corresponding values. Now once I have created this item, what I wanted to do, I wanted to basically see like uh, out of all these three dates, which is the current date, right? So like how should I proceed basically, right? So obviously, like what you wanted to do basically, first you wanted to go to the first item here and store this item in one of the variable, and then you can basically compare each and every item with the particular variable. If the value is greater than this particular date, then you can store this particular date in this particular variable and replace it. So but to do this, what we can do is we can add one calculation stage here, and subsequently we can also use the loop stage. So here what we will do, like first uh, like we are going to loop through this order ID, right? So what we can do, we can connect these items first, and here we will make a decision stage, and let's bring one more calculation stage here. Okay, yeah, So I'll explain it once more, like, what I'm trying to do here. So let's say, okay, so what I'm trying to do, like if I'm iterating it through the collection item that I have. If I'm there in the first row, then I'm basically trying to pick up the value that is there and trying to store in a temporary variable that I've created. So let's say I have created a temporary variable called date and giving a type as date, and then leave the initial value as blank. And then let me create and numeric variable called iteration and give the iteration a type number and initialize with the value 0. So what I can do here, first thing,
We are not able to hear you, Karan.
hello guys, I sorry for that. I think my audio connection is getting lost, but now it's back. All right, so what we can say, like, check if we are in first row. How we can check? Basically just take the this give this to this iteration. So if this value is 1, what we can do, basically we can go and link So here what we can say, like, basically we can build an expression where we can just compare the date with, if this date is greater than this particular date, validate. So what all error we are getting? So calculation 2. So go to this stage here and expression is valid. Okay. So what is the issue is there? Can someone tell here? Just think. Let's say like we want to debug this particular process, right? So what we can do to find it out? So let's say here what we are trying to do. So first thing is, if the particular date, right? If we are in, if the iteration is equal to 1. Okay. So if we are in the first row, we will go and store the value in the date. Okay. And here what we are going to do, we are going to compare. So if the particular date is greater than this particular date, then what we are going to do, we are again going and update this stage. So So calculation is okay. So here it is like, okay, so here we are facing some issue. Let me first run it and let's see what is the issue, like what is the problem which is coming, and then we will debug it accordingly. So first what we can do, let me run this process. So okay, so what is happening, you go and step into it. So see the calculation what value was is throwing. So it got this particular date, right? The first date that is there. Now again debug it. Okay, failed to find the stage link from the stage decision one. All right. So what is the problem here? It is basically failed to find the stage to which it is linked, right? So let's reset it. Say no. Let me first again rerun it. Failed to find a stage link from Calc 2. Okay. So there is a, okay. So the problem which is coming here is it is not able to find through which it is linked actually. So what basically we can do here, so let me just remove this particular value. Okay, so if this is true, fail to find a stage link from a stage decision one. Okay, so let me just, so this is actually closed loop which is getting formed here. Uh, so we, so what we can do, like, you know, just think about it, and then we will come again and just try to debug this particular problem which is coming here. So let me just think about it, and we will come and resolve this problem after some time.
Karan,
Okay, yeah.
is it not mandatory that a decision should have both yes and no?
Yeah, this is mandatory that you know, the decision should have a yes and no column both.
But
So
in
let's
decision
say,
one,
yeah,
there is no, only yes is there. There is no.
yeah, that's what. So in decision, let's say decision two, right? So here what we are trying to say, like, you know, if this is one, we are going and storing it here, right? After that, we have one more decision stage. Let's say if I take a decision state here, okay, and we connect it. If this is a second stage, so this is no, right? Let's say if this second, I'm going to the second row of the column or the collection. So here what I'm trying to say, the autumn either, like the date, if it is greater than the date that I've stored here, right? So this expression is valid, and then in that case, what we want to do, we basically want to update this variable, right? So here what we can do, basically, uh, okay, so we have to update this particular variable again if in case this particular you know, the decision is wrong. So first thing, let's say connect this. So this is, let's say yes, if this is correct, and if this is no, then what we can do basically, uh, yeah, yeah, let me just first connect it. Okay, anyway, what we can do, after some time we will come back and try to debug this issue. What issue is coming here? We will not waste the time here, and we will jump to the next part and see that. Okay. So I want to take one more new topic here. So before going again and taking some more example on how to use collection and loop and all those things that we have seen before. What we will do that we will take today the layer of logic, like how the pages are connected from each other, how we can call different pages. Okay, so let's say I have, I'll let's say yesterday we did this particular exercise, right? So what we can do, like we can create some sub pages. So let me create, show you some example here. So this is, let's say, operation. So here I have created a page called operation, and what I will do, like whatever work that I did here, I will move everything into this operation stage. So let me just try to move everything there. So what I will do, just yeah. And here what we are going to do basically, okay, let's take this also. Sorry. Yeah. So we want to complete all this entire operation, and what we want to do, we want to do it through the main page. So the main concept here is of the page is the process will always start from the main page and it will go to the subsequent pages. So what happened, like whenever we have a very big process and there is a very large process that we want to create, so what we do, we basically create the process into a small a reusable kind of unit. So the main logic is the process will always start from the main page and then it will go to the subsequent pages. And the main idea, like why we create the subsequent, like separate pages, is we want to make our process very efficient, and these pages can be reused in any other process as well. Like you can use this particular page from the main page or from any other page, and you want to call it, then you can call it this particular page. Because if you're going to create all this thing in the main page, if there is any issue, you cannot able to debug the issue and try to find out where the issue is. So what you want to do, basically you can create, you can divide the main page into various different pages and you can call the sub pages. How you will doing it? So there is a stage here called page stage. If you bring this page stage here, as soon as you bring it, it says that create a new page or a reference to an existing page. As soon as you select it and click on operation and finish, so you get this option. Now what you can do, you can basically connect the particular page here, and you can go here. So there's one error is going. Okay, so you can collect this. Okay, so you see, you basically start. Okay, let me just run at very slow speed here, and you can see the process is starting from the main page, and the operation it going to the next page, and then it will start doing whatever it want to do here and then come back. So see, so this is like, you can call multiple pages, and inside one page again you can call the different page. So let's say if I have any process, if I create one more process, uh, I just give an operation here like calculation, and I just give, like I just add two variables. So just I select data item 1, data item 2, and I give this value as X and select the data type as number, this as Y, and select as number. And okay, so initial value. Okay, so what we can do, basically we can add one more pages here, like add and one more page, subtract. So what we can do here, okay, so let me add one more. Okay, so just connect these pages here. X minus Y, store in sub, create one more number data type item here, and accordingly just add two variable here, X plus Y, and store in add. And from here what we can do, we can just call these two sub pages. So page 1, great. So you see, like, the number of pages that you will be adding inside the main page, it will be reflecting here. So it's up to you which page you want to call first. So let's say I want to call add for page first, so I can give add, and then page 2 here, subtract, finish. Then I can go here, just delete this. Give some value to X and Y. So let's say if I give the value 50 initial value, and Y I give the value 20. Similarly in subtraction we give the value as 40 and 20 to Y. So the basic thing I want to show you that you can basically call your sub pages from your sub pages also. So see, I have created an add page here, and from the add page itself I'm creating the other page, sub page. So let's say I have some condition here on basis of which I wanted to call the other sub page, so I can call it from the sub page also. It's not only from the main page, but your processing will always start from the main page. Even if you are on this page and you go and start your process, you will see that your control will go to the main page. See, so you are on main page, you are going on the add page, again you are going to the subtraction page, you are getting the value, and you are coming to the add page, and then you are going again, since I've called subtraction again, and then it's gone to the main page. So this is about how you can use this particular stage called pages, and how efficiently the layer of logics are implemented to call each other from either from the main page or from the sub pages. You can call different pages, and why we are creating this sub pages is basically to take care of the large process. You want to divide your large process into sub process. So the sub process is nothing but it is something like the pages that you create in Blue Prism, so that you can efficiently work on the particular item. So just say example, what we wanted to do, you wanted to uh, you know go to the some particular site, and there are some three fields that you wanted to fill in, and then you basically wanted to grab the reference number based on the three fields, three items that you have, and based on the three item you create some reference number, and then you wanted to store those reference number. So let's say this is a real life example, like uh, I wanted to go to the particular site and log in. So login action that you are creating, let's say it will be a one page. So you'll be creating one page called login. So there you'll be putting your user ID, and then you'll be putting your password, and then you'll be clicking on enter. Once you are on the other page, there first thing is you are trying to write down the three parameter, let's say. So that will be a one sub page, and then you are trying to fetch the reference number that you can give in other sub page, and then those things you can call from the main page and build up your process accordingly. So the main idea is this only, like basically you can utilize this option to make your process very efficient. So I hope this particular logic is clear to you. Let me know if there is any issue that you are facing. So I hope it is clear. So there is one more thing that I wanted to tell in regard to this collection, right? So in the collection, so the one example that I gave you, right, where we have uh, like the order and all that we have created, and we are trying to calculate uh, the total quantity of the item, right? So here the collection we have created in the Blue Prism. Now what is like if you have any Excel sheet and you wanted to read the particular Excel sheet and store that Excel sheet as a collection, and from there you wanted to basically calculate the value, how you will be doing it. So let's see, what is the how we can achieve that through the Blue Prism. So what I'm trying to say, let's say if you have one, let me create one Excel sheet here. So give some name like uh, order detail, and give me let me give some name. So I can give basically, let's say, order number.
Hi, Karan. We are always prompting, we are always initializing the variables, right? Can we prompt for the variables, like assigning the values to the variables X and Y? Can we prompt for them
Just a minute.
in the tool?
Okay. Okay, so now we are in this process. Okay, can you ask your question again? So we are
Yeah, like
initializing this
in the,
value, right? Yeah, we are initializing
yeah,
this value here, right?
yeah.
So what you want
Can
to
we
do?
prompt for the value, like for X value, I want to give it while executing it.
Yes, yes,
After running,
definitely.
it need to ask me X and Y values. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I got your question. So basically you are trying to say here we are hard coding our value, right? So what we are going to do, I have not reached to that stage, where what we will be doing it, we will be passing the value dynamically, and this will be getting the value from where, like, and whatever value that we are passing, and accordingly it will be doing the operation and passing on the value. So that is nothing but input and output operation. We will be taking that the exercise on that also. Then I will cover that part. Here we are just hard coding. Here my intention was to just show you this the logic behind using the page stage, how we can use it. But later on when we'll be going to the input and output, I'll show you here, even if we don't give any value, how we can pass it from the main page.
Yeah, okay, Karan. I just thought that you're going to Excel sheets, right? So I thought, will there be any option or not for the assigning values directly from prompt? So that's the reason I asked.
Yeah, so here, see, I mean, what we are trying to do, so basically for Excel sheet, like what we have achieved through collection, right? We have created a simple collection where we have different rows and column. We will be fetching everything through this Excel sheet. So in real time, you will be always getting the Excel sheet. I mean, that was just for the example that we have created this collection here, right? But what will happen when you will be
Yeah.
working on the live process, uh, you will be like, let's say for the example, for the back office, right? They used to do the data entry jobs, right? So for the data entry,
Yes.
they will be getting all this Excel sheet, and they have to perform all the operation through using this Excel sheet only. So for
Okay.
RPA, I've seen most of the things, like 80% things are like Excel and file operation handling and email operation handling only. Rest of the thing are like
Okay.
something others, but most of the thing you can achieve through this. So I'll just trying to give one example so that you can practice accordingly. So let me just write order number, order. So I just created one Excel sheet here, and what I'm trying to do here is okay, so let me create a process again. So what I'm trying to do here, first thing is I'm trying to read the particular Excel sheet. Okay, so how we can do this through Blue Prism? This is what I wanted to show you first. So first thing is we can create one collection here and give a name called order. Now, as soon as give the name order, like in real life, just imagine like in real life how you will be doing it, right? So this is your Excel file, uh, and what you want to do, you want to first double click on this Excel file to work on, right? So what happened, like to replicate the same in Blue Prism, we are provided for this particular operation, we are provided with a stage called action stage. This is all related to object, like we will be going through the object modeling in the subsequent training. But before going there, how we can access those objects that the Blue Prism provide to you is through the action stage. So as soon as you bring this action stage here and double click it, you can see the business object that you can use. So there are a couple of business objects that Blue Prism itself provide to you. I mean, you don't have to create the one. So you will be creating the business object also, but those will be separate things. But there are some pre-built business object that we can use here. So here for Excel manipulation, we have MS Excel VBO that we can use, and for this MS Excel VBO we have several action that we can use. So uh, just for example, right, you are double clicking a particular Excel sheet and you are trying to activate it. So you are nothing but you are trying to do an instant, you're trying to create an instance of the particular Excel sheet. So first action will be create instance. Okay, as soon as you create instance, there will be some input and outputs that you have to keep in mind. So there is input is something what enable events. Like, do you want to enable the events that is provided by create instance action? So yes, that will be true because you want to open the Excel sheet. So you want this particular event to be true. And the output is nothing but handle. So what is handle? Handle is nothing but, let's say you are trying to point out the particular Excel sheet. So I have these many Excel sheet here in this particular directory bp_new, but I just want to specifically point out this particular Excel sheet. So this will be, I can do this by using handle variable, and it will be a number type variable. So what you can do basically, instead of going and create, you can directly click it here and it will create a number handle variable for you. Then you can click OK. Now let's say once you have opened the Excel sheet, what you can do? So after that, you want to read the Excel sheet, right? Basically you want to, okay, so you have created the instant and now you want to open the Excel sheet. For that you can have a other, so let me rename also. So this is nothing but create instance, and this is open the workbook. So workbook is nothing but my Excel sheet only. So here you have, again select MS Excel VBO business object, and the action will be create workbook. So you see here create workbook is the option. Sorry, you want to open the workbook, right? So you have option called open workbook. So once you selected the open workbook, which workbook that you want to open is the handle that we have created. So you can just bring the same handle here, and then you want to have the file name. So file name, what you can do, you can just right click on this particular file, and you can just click on shift. Okay, just click, right click and copy as path. Once you go here, see this is a text variable, right? So you have to give everything in double quote. So as soon as you paste it, you can see like everything is in double quote with the location and what is the file name that you want to open. So here we are trying to open the particular file. Okay, and the particular file that we are going to open, and we are going to name that particular file, the output file that we are going to have is a workbook name that we are going to create it. So this is a workbook name that we have created. After that, what you want to do, you want to read the entire Excel file, and then you want to store that into your order collection. So for that you have a different action here. So you again select this particular VBO and get worksheet as collection. So you're trying to get the worksheet as a collection. So again, for the handle, you just can select the handle variable. The workbook name is nothing but the same workbook name that you have. And what is the worksheet name? So worksheet name is here, if you open this particular workbook, this is a worksheet, right? So this is a sheet 1 that I have created. So you can copy and yeah, you can paste here and same in double quote. and then you are going to store everything in the collection here. Okay, so let me link this, and just you have a stage called end stage. So let me run this. So see, now this is empty with no value, right? Now let me just run it. Now see, the same Excel sheet that I've created it's got all these values from the Excel sheet, and it populated here, right? So this is how you can basically get the value from the Excel sheet and store the value in the collection. Now what you can do, so let's say if I have received this value, right? Now if you want to do some kind of operation, so what you want to do first, so so one thing that you must have noticed here, that let me run it again. Okay, so one thing that you can notice here, even the quantity that I have created here, right? It was basically in the numeric format, but when we read from the Excel, everything will come in text format. So whenever you are going to use this quantity, you have to convert this into number. Okay, so what you can do basically, let's say this is you have received this, so you can create one data item and you can give it name as number, and you can define the initial value as 0. Choose the calculation stage. Here what you can do, so you have an option here. If you see conversion, right? So you want to convert it to number. What you want to convert it is basically, so let's say you have order here, right? So paste. So this is nothing but collection, but in collection, which field you want to access? I have told you, right? So the field that you want to access is nothing but the order quantity. So you can just copy this particular field, and here order dot order quantity, and you can store that into the quantity variable. Okay, so now this particular quantity variable will hold the value of the number. Now let's say I want to go through each and every this collection. I want to calculate the value that we have done in the first exercise that I've given to you yesterday. The same thing, how we can do it through using the Excel sheet. That's my motive to show you. Keep this stage together, and then we are going to loop on the collection that we have. This is order, and what we are trying to do here, okay, so first we have taken this particular quantity here, and then we can take one more variable, let's say total order. Let's take the number 0. We can bring one more calculation stage here, and what we can do, so whatever we have received in this particular quantity variable, we can store in the total order variable and validate. So see, it's getting the collection here. It loaded with all the 3 rows. It is going in each row, trying to calculate the total order. So this value is getting incremented every time, and then you can calculate the total order, and you have achieved the result. So let's say you got this value total order as 39 here, right? And if you go here, so the total value is 39. So that's what I wanted to show you, that the same operation that we were doing it, in a static manner there, like, basically you were just hard coding the value on a collection and doing it. In the real time, you will be doing it through this particular Excel sheet. Now, let's say I got my result. I want to write in Excel sheet too that, this is the total order of my quantity, how I can do it. So let me go here. Or what, for this particular example, what we will do, like, we will again, let's say for particular example, if you have some option where you can store the entire, the the collection that you are receiving as a final output into the Excel sheet, what you can do. So again, you have an action called write stage, like action where you can use the same MS Excel VBO, and you can basically go here, and there is option called write collection. Okay, so here you see, like, what we can do, the collection that we have, we are going to write it to the particular sheet 2. So handle will be the same handle. Okay, workbook name will be the name of the workbook name that we have just created. Worksheet name, so you can take at sheet 2. Collection is, we can take the order, and cell reference, from where you want to copy it, right? So let's say you want to copy it from A1, so you can give A1. Okay, so this is all. And include column name, you can say, okay, yeah, true, because you want to include the column name also, right? So see, I mean, right now I don't have anything in the collection, but using the same collection, I can go and write it down the entire collection in the sheet 2 also. So let me just, okay. Okay, yeah. So just let me just run this process again. Let's see what happened.
Hi, Karan, we are unable to hear you.
Okay, sorry, I think I kept it mute. Yeah. So what I was trying to say, basically we have to save and close our Excel sheet whenever we are trying to perform any Excel operation. That is very mandatory. Otherwise, we will leave we will miss our data. So if you see now I have closed my Excel sheet, right, and saved it. So the sheet one, whatever value was there, I have, the total collection that was there, I have copied into the sheet 2. I'll show you once again. So let me delete it and save it. What I did in the last, basically, I have created one more action where I'm going to save and close. I've used the same MS Excel VBO operation and I have closed my workbook. There, I'm just saying that save also my data that I have created. Now, you just refresh it and just run it again. Go here. See, in the sheet 2, it pasted everything here. Okay. So this is how you can do this Excel operation that what you wanted to do through collection. So this is basically whenever you will be working in a live project, you will be using your Excel sheet in the same manner, and then you'll be performing what all operation that your project requires. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you one scenario. Just try to work on that scenario, and then I think in that way you will have a better understanding. So let's say uh, I have a 3 column, let's say student name, okay, and student percentage, and then grade. So if let's say Priya student got 90%, grade is A. Similarly, 70% and grade is B. So I mean, don't put the value here. The grade is something that you have to calculate in your process, you know, and just have, let's say, have a 10 or 5 student and just divide them into grade A, grade B, and grade C. So we did one exercise there, right, for showing you the choice stage, where we were basically based on the particular percentage, we are trying to see, like, you know, if the student is having pass or fail. Similarly, what you can do, like, you can use your Excel sheet. In this sheet, you can have 10 student, just have their percentage and calculate the grade in the process. Okay, and once you have calculated the grade, what you can do, you create one, I mean, you just paste the entire collection into a new worksheet here. So let's say in sheet 1 you will be having student name and student percentage, and grade will be blank. And in sheet 2, what you going to have, student name, student percentage, and their final grade. So just see the as an example, like, you know, you in a real world you got 100 of, like, you'll be getting a file with 1,000 record, right? And you wanted to just see that, you know, if the grade is A, B, or C. uh, Someone has to do it manually, right? So in this, through this process, you have automated this process to just complete in a fraction of second. So this will give you a glimpse of, you know, what RPA and, you know, what all can be done through this Blue Prism once we go through the subsequent learning lessons. So this is a very good exercise that, you know, you take this as a scenario and try to complete it tomorrow. It will give you a better understanding. Okay, so yeah, let me, okay, what we can do now, we can create one more process here. Let me just wanted to give you idea of so what is local variable and global variable? What is the concept of, you know, yesterday someone has asked this question, and I told that I'll be taking this here. So what we wanted to do is how we can, let's say if we have 2 pages here, right? Let's say give us add, and here what we are trying to do, basically in this add page, we have to, let's say, okay, we have a calculation stage here, okay, and in the main page we are going to take this page stage, and this add is there, right? I finish it. So let me link these 2 stages here. And now what I'm going to do, I have 2 data item stage here called X and give the value 10 and Y. So okay, so this is, we wanted to add this value, right? Now once you go here, you know, basically you don't see any variables because I don't have any variable here that, you know, I have created. And once I go into the main page, there is 2 variable, but I cannot see those variable. I cannot take this variable here, right? Because these variable were created in the main page, and we want to access that variable through my addition page. So these variables are nothing but the local variable, which are specific to this particular main page. Now, if I go and take a calculation stage here, and I go here, I can see this variable, right? X and Y, because I have created for this particular page, which are local to this particular page. and I can use this variable pretty much. But when I go in this particular page, I cannot see the variable. Now I wanted to perform an operation where I don't want to create the variable in this particular page and directly wanted to access through the main page. So that can only be done if I make the variable x and y as a global variable. How we can do this? Just see, I'll show you. To make this particular variable and global variable, what there is a concept called visibility. So if you just uncheck this visibility, it will hide from other process in the process. So it will not more be hidden from the other pages in the process. It will be visible. Same for this. If you just uncheck this, now if you go reset it, now if you go here and click calculation stage, if you go to the main page, if you go to number, you can see this value are now visible. Now you can use this value x plus y store in sum that you have created in an addition variable. So see, if you run this process, it is going in the start, going here, calculating and putting the sum here. So this is the concept for local variable and global variable, and it is up to you, like, you have to decide like which variable you wanted to access. Let's say if you don't want to create multiple variable and you want to have only 2 variables or 3 variable and you want to access through different pages in your process, then you have to always create that variable as a global variable, and the option is just uncheck it. So that was all about local and global. And now there is one more thing that I wanted to take before concluding today's session, which is called input and output. So we'll just take through this same example only. So let me create one more page here, subtract and calculation. X. Okay, let me first reset it. Don't make this global variable. Don't make this global variable. Minus y, and we can store in now. First I wanted to let you know what is the input and output, what I mean to say, like basically using this word. So to answer the same question one of the guys has just asked in the session, so if you want to pass the value at the runtime and how we can handle it, so actually I was basically going and trying to hard code this particular value. I was going and putting some initial value for addition, and I wanted to put some initial value for subtraction. What I want here, I want to pass the value that I have in my main page directly to these variable and directly to these variables so they can perform their operation, and whatever the result is there, I we return to the main page. Instead of seeing the result here, I wanted to operation. So how we can achieve this? And this is very conceptual, very good thing in Blue Prism, where it will help us, because this will be used in all those things. Like once will be going and through this object also. So the input value and receiving the output value through the process and object, it will always be happening. So we have to understand this very clearly. So for this start, this addition page, what we are trying to do, basically we are trying to get some input. So because based on this input only, we will be adding this two variable. So let's say you add this variable and give the name, value of x, and data type as number, and store in x. X is a local variable here. I want to store in this value of y, and this is also a number, and you want to store in y, right? Now in calculation, you are doing the addition of these two number and you're storing in sum. Now what I want, like, so this particular add page will be getting the value from the main page as value of x and value of y. Subsequently we'll be storing in x and y. We will be adding that, and in the end stage we want to have one output. So here we'll be creating the output. If you see here, so once you go in the start page, you will be seeing the inputs, and once you come to the end stage, you'll be seeing the output, because here we have processed everything and we wanted to capture the output. So how we can do it here? So just say that sum of x and y. So this is nothing but number, and since you have stored that thing in sum, you can give here sum. Okay, and similarly for subtraction, you can go here, you can write value of x and value of y, number, you're going to store in x, going to store in y, and you are basically subtracting and putting in subtraction, and then again you are trying to add one output here. So subtraction of x and y, types number, and you're getting the value from the subtraction result. Now what will happen, like as soon as you go to the main page, right, here you have two sub pages. One is add and one is subtraction. Okay, so let me link it. Now as soon as you go to the add page, right, and you are in input, so see, whatever the value, input value that we have created in the start of this addition page, it will be reflected here in the main page in the input column, the value of x, right? Now what we can do, we can take this value of x and assign it, take this value of y, we can assign it, and output sum of x and y. So we can create one variable called add and store it in add, and subsequently for the subtraction, you'll be seeing the same thing, since that what we have created in subtraction page as input. You can take the value of x here, value of y here, and in output you can just subtraction of x and y, you can just create a value called subtraction, store in subtraction. So see, what I'm trying to do, I am only taking the value of x and y in my main process. Even if you take the value here, let's say you take value 50 or 60, it won't matter. So I've taken different values. So now based on this my calculation, I should be getting some different value, but no, the value will always be passed from the main page. And let's say I take as 50. So value will always be passed from my main page, and whatever the result that we're going to see is based on the value of main page X and Y. So let me run this particular process. See, this value got changed. This value is going to change. Again, see, Y is getting changed, right? So you are going to get the value of addition and subtraction based on the value of the initial value that you have chosen on the main page and that you are passing to your subsequent pages. So this is what is basically the concept of input and output parameter, and that is how you can efficiently use in your process. Okay, so this was just about, like, all the concept about input and output. If you have any doubt about input or output, just let me know and I can clear it. Is this clear to everyone? Hello?
Yes, clear, Carl.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so today what we have seen is how we can efficiently use the Excel and collection and looping through this Excel through the collections, and how we can perform different operation. Just try to do it the scenario that I've given. Also try to see the one that where we'll be facing the issue, like you have a scenario where you want to create calculate you want to fetch the current date, like the date which is basically uh, the latest date is there that you wanted to fetch from the order item that you have created, and how you can do it. Tomorrow we will see it, if we can achieve that. Whatever the issue that we were facing, that we will try to rectify it. And apart from that, we have seen how this input and output behaves, and we will see some more example today. I'll be bringing it, and we can practice on that, on input and output, how we can pass the value from different pages to each other, and then how we can store the result. Apart from that, from tomorrow onwards, we will be going into the object, in object concept, and how we can efficiently. So this Blue Prism has two main pillars. So one is Process Studio and one is Object. So now we are very much comfortable with the Process Studio, because if you see, we have used almost all those stages here, right from the pointer, link, process. So process, I'll be telling you how we can use this process. Uh, Pages that we have used, action we have used, decision, choices, calculation, multi-calculation, data item, collection, loop. So pretty much everything that we have used here. Now we will be going into the uh, basically into the object concepts. We'll be trying to understand what all concepts are there in object, and then we will combine everything and start automating those desktop based application and UI based application. But before doing that, the basic criteria is to understand all the basic concept that we have, and the two main pillars are Process Studio and Object Studio. And basically, if you see in Object Studio, as I mentioned you, how you can access it, it is through the action stage. So there are like more of the things that we have. The internal object that Blue Prism provide, it's already there for you. You just have to understand that how can you use it efficiently. Like just for the example, MX Excel VBO, right? You have different action. So you just have to understand how you can use these different actions to build up your process efficiently. Apart from that, obviously you'll be creating your custom objects and different actions, and which will be see, like how we can create that in subsequent training sessions. So let me know, if you have any doubt till now, or anything that you wanted me to um, put more emphasis on, or if there is anything I can improve on, just let me know and we can conclude for today. Hello?
Yeah, Karan, we're good for now, I believe.
Okay. 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 All right. I think, once you will practice more, because today with the 3 classes, we have covered pretty much many things, small thing only. And, we have tried to understand the concept. But once you will practice more, try to give yourself some more scenario, try to execute it. If you face any doubt, just come here and ask me, and then we'll try to rectify that. So that way you will be learning more, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, then I think we can wrap up for today, and then we'll see it from tomorrow.
Thanks, Karan.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, Karan.